Hi, this is Dhruv,
And this is John.
and this is week 28 of the devlog.
This week's topic is what if we fail?
But before we start, I'd just like to thank our one and only patron, Henry.
Yeah, our only one. I don't know how he found out, but we mentioned Patreon so far 3 times and in one sentence, but he found out. Anyhow, so as we talked about last week, going into game dev is a pretty big deal. And what if all of it fails, And I think this is a good time for us to get to know each other. And by the way, this week we are on camera, not because we don't have enough clips.
Definitely not.
No, so Dhruv, do you want to tell everybody why you've been so busy and haven't been able to do a lot of stuff?
Actually this week I worked mainly on the skill tree, which a lot of it was coding and events and stuff this week and last week. So a lot of it is coding, very boring stuff, nothing really to show, oh look, this looks great. But also my dad and my sister left for, my sister's in badminton, so she left to play a tournament. And there's a hotel that my dad has, and he wanted me to help manage it because the manager isn't there right now. So that's why I've been going back and forth and been dealing with all this stuff that is really annoying. But I've been trying to work as much as I can in the meantime. But yeah, family responsibility is always important.
Yeah, I mean, jokes aside, like the amount of stuff Dhruv has to do while working on games is like he's a champ. He did so much stuff actually that can't really be shown, and I'm more impressed that he can find the time to actually do something. But on my side, I've been just cleaning up more maps. My brother came back home from school, and just earlier Dhruv told me that certain maps probably have to be rearranged. So hopefully we'll get some clips for that. But now you see, we're spending so much time and trying to accommodate our personal schedule with our family while we work on games. And I think it's a very, very interesting topic what happens if we fail. And I guess we'll start with a definition. What is fail? What do you think is failing, Dhruv?
So for me, failing would be to not get somewhat of a community behind our game. I have a very strong liking to community, I guess you could say. I feel like a game can always make money down the line by porting it to different consoles or by just making more games. Maybe eventually you'll make money, but money is never, I guess, my goal. It's always a necessity, but it's never the goal. The goal is always to create games that people like. So a failure for me would be that we don't get any sort of community around our game. Whether that's 100 people or whether that's 1,000 people is besides the point. The main point is that there's at least some amount of people that care and like the game and want to play the game. And it's not just the couple that are always there, although we love you guys. I would like to see hopefully some new faces around there too.
Oh wait, but by what time when you don't have a community is failure? So is it like 10 years down the line? If we count it right now, we technically failed already.
Yeah. By the time we I think release Eduardo, I think would be a failure to me if we don't have a community. Yeah.
So the failure is actually a small setback. Not the I have worked on games for 10 years and after 10 years I have nothing to show kind of failure.
Well, a failure is only a failure after you have given up, in a sense. So until you've given up, it's not really a failure, although I guess in a certain sense it is. To me, when you could say that it's a financial failure so far. Everything that we've done, you could 100% you could say that. But I wouldn't say. I think our skills have gotten much better. If you look at our first game and you look at our second game, Mirror Blade, which was an online game, it's completely two different things. I think it wasn't the smartest thing to make an online game, but we did it, and we have the skills to prove that we did it. And it shows in our game design, and it shows in just our ability to think of new things without having to compromise the core and base of a game that we got after Mirror Blade. So I think that you could say that it's a failure, but that would be disregarding a lot of things that we learned and a lot of experience that we've gotten. And I like to try to be more positive. So I would say that it was a learning experience, if anything. And I think it helped us overall. Yeah.
Let's make this a little bit more specific. How about there one day in the morning and you're 45 years old and you wake up and none of your games have made a lot of money. Would you call that a failure? What would you do, actually? I think that is more pertinent to our topic. It's more like at 45, or maybe let's say, 45 is a good number, because I know there's
old.
I mean, there's a lot of indie devs right now that are like 30 plus to 40, so 45, like you said, it is an old time. So you wake up at 45, none of your games have been a hit. What do you do?
So I think by then I feel like I would have already had a job and then been working on games on the side. There's no way I would have been able to keep it up for that long.
Right, so
definitely been working on games on the side. I would probably still keep working on games, but I'd have very low motivation. I don't think I'd be working as hard as I am now. For sure.
So if the question is what if we fail and let's say 45 is the cutoff point, by the time when let's say it has failed, you will keep it on the side as a passion?
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do. 100%.
Yeah. How come?
I don't think I would be able to keep doing it full time and be able to, because I have these other things that are, I guess, important, that I think are important in life in general. And I feel like by 45, I would want to have a wife and kids and stuff. And so with that comes a lot of responsibility and a lot of, I guess, necessity to make sure that you have the proper, I guess, foundation of things laid out for you. So I would think that by then, I would need to make sure that those other things are also taken care of. But instead of just asking me these questions, we should see what you think as well, because I've just been talking this whole time.
Oh, no, it's okay. I actually think these are questions we don't ask each other often too, and maybe we keep it in our mind and we never really say it out loud. I would have to agree with you. I would probably do the same thing. I think by the time, and I'm pretty sure this is the same way you think as well. By the time you are married, your personal goals and your personal, ambition is no longer the priority. At least that's what I think. By the time you have kids, your life is no longer yours. You have to share half of your life, and what your kids want, what your wife, your other half wants, becomes a part of the thing. So if by very miraculous chance that my family, my kids, and my wife also likes to make games and want to make a great game, I might just keep doing it. But I mean, I think the chances are very, very low, and I doubt that would be the case. And I think, especially from my experience with a lot of female of the slightly with more age, they are very, very very realistic. If things doesn't work, they're not gonna say dreams. It's gonna be, do what to survive and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I think I would okay. But I think what's good is, at least what I think is, we both will probably keep it as passion. So at one point, you would think that game design is pretty much a passion thing, right? It's the main thing that keeps us driving. But it's pretty much right now, while we're taking it full head on. But at one point, we have to agree that it's if it doesn't make money, it has to take secondary. It's no longer the priority, right?
I think, and I think that is, it's kind of like hard, because it's not, at least what I'm thinking is, it's not something that is within my peripheral, at least until, for some time. I don't know for how long specifically, but for some time. And I think that the the idea is that when you create, I have my phone right now, battery almost. But when you create, when you create something, you're doing it out of your love for that thing. At least when it's something that you like, such as the games that we create. And I think once you get to the point where you need to kind of split yourself into multiple things, you also have to split that love that you have to create that one thing. So I don't know. I think it's hard to judge when or if this would ever happen. The dream is to just be able to work on games because it makes enough money. But I think it's something that eventually, if nothing works out, then yeah, that would have to be the natural course, I guess.
Oh, that's so funny, because last week we were both we were so heroic about, I'm doing this against my family's will, and this week we're like, when reality hits, we're going to bow down and understand that money still keeps the world going, and it's not as cool. But what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, maybe we're completely wrong. Maybe you should just keep pursuing it until the ends of the earth.
Yeah, what would you guys do? I'm sure a lot of you guys out there from the indie groups and all the people who are watching the video, that you guys probably have certain life experience and thoughts about this. Maybe both of us are wrong. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Alright, like the video. Thanks a lot for watching.
Yeah, and let us know if this kind of content is worth it. We're trying a lot of things to make sure that you guys will enjoy it and we enjoy it as well. This is the time we vent our hearts, and hopefully it's a win-win. So we'll see you next week.
Alright, bye guys.
Bye.